Do you want to travel around Europe in 2024 but worried about spending too much money? Don't worry. Check this video where we've picked out some of the cheapest places to visit in Europe. You can have an amazing European adventure without spending all your savings. Let's explore these budget-friendly destinations together and plan your next affordable trip across the continent. Number 10. Spain. Spain, even though it's considered a developed European country, is still pretty affordable, especially if you venture outside big cities like Barcelona and Madrid, where things can get pricey. But don't worry, there are plenty of cheap places to stay and eat if you're on a budget. One great option is Airbnb. You can find lots of affordable places to stay, which is handy because then you can cook for yourself instead of eating out all the time. If you're thinking about how much money to bring, around $50 to $70 per day should cover it. Accommodations can be as low as $25 to $35 a night in a hostel or $35 to $55 for a hotel. Food-wise, street food is the cheapest option, usually around $3 to $4 per meal. When you're out and about, try tapas bars. Sometimes they give free tapas with your drinks, and that helps you save money. Most people want to visit places like Barcelona and Madrid, but they can be expensive. However, if you stay outside the main tourist spots, you'll find better deals. But don't forget about the cool stuff in Barcelona, like the Sagrada Familia and Park Güell. Renting a car there can also help to explore nearby areas easily. There are other awesome places in Spain too, like Valencia, Seville, and Mallorca. But if you're really pinching pennies, consider checking out places like Cadorba, Granada, Malaga, and Murcia. Alicante is also cheap and has nice beaches, and Gran Canaria is a must-visit island. If you're into camping, Spain has lots of spots where you can camp for free or cheap. So whether you're on a tight budget or just looking for a good deal, Spain has plenty to offer. Number 9. Croatia. Croatia is one of the most popular countries in the Balkans, and it's easy to understand why. It's really beautiful. There are lots of other cheap countries in Europe, but Croatia's beauty is hard to beat. It has amazing beaches, stunning national parks, and many cities to explore. If you're planning to visit, it's best to stay for at least a couple of weeks to see everything. Nowadays, Croatia is becoming more and more popular with tourists, but some parts of the country are still cheaper than others. On average, you might spend between $50 to $70 a day. Accommodation can cost around $20 to $30 a night for a hostel, or $30 to $50 for a hotel. Food can be cheap too, with street food costing between $1 and $3 and meals in restaurants ranging from $8 to $24. If you're planning to visit popular cities like Dubrovnik, Split, or the national parks like Krakow and Plitvice Lakes, you might want to look into tourist passes. These can save you money on attractions. Dubrovnik is especially famous. It has historic city walls and was even used as a filming location for Game of Thrones. Other cities like Zagreb, Pula, Rovinj, and Zadar are worth exploring too. And don't forget about the national parks and islands like Hvar and Brač. Croatia is full of beautiful places to visit. Whether you're into beaches, cities, or nature, you'll find something you'll love here. Number 8. Slovenia. Slovenia is a really pretty country in Central Europe. It has big mountains, cool lakes made by glaciers, and lots of green forests. Most of Slovenia doesn't touch the sea, except for a little part of the Adriatic Sea. The country is surrounded by Austria, Croatia, Hungary, and Italy, so it's easy to travel around. It's a good place to visit if you're traveling on a budget. You can spend between $45 to $65 a day. Staying in a hostel costs around $30 to $40 a night, and hotels are about $40 to $60. Food is also not too expensive. Street food is cheap, around $2 to $3, while fast food costs between $6 and $8. Eating at a restaurant can cost between $9 and $25. One tip is to use Flixbus to travel around Slovenia. It's cheap and easy to find tickets. The most popular places to visit are Ljubljana, Piran, Lake Bled, and Kranjska Gora. Ljubljana is the capital and has a castle and old town to explore. Lake Bled is a must-see with its beautiful scenery and delicious cake. You can also visit other cities like Koper, Maribor, and Patuj. Kranjska Gora is great for seeing Slovenia's natural beauty. If you're short on time, there's a day tour from Ljubljana that takes you to Lake Bled, Bled Castle, Lake Bohinj, and Bintar Gorge. It's a fun way to see a lot in one day. Number 7. Bosnia. Bosnia is a country that became independent in 1992. Even though its history is a bit complicated, it's a cool place for people who like to travel. It's not as famous as other spots in Europe, so it's perfect if you want to discover some hidden treasures. Bosnia shares its borders with a few other countries in Europe like Croatia, Montenegro, and Serbia. Because of this, it's easy to get to and there are lots of ways to travel around without spending too much money. If you're planning a trip to Bosnia, it's good to know how much you might spend. On an average day, you might spend between $45 to $65. For a place to sleep, hostels cost about $15 to $25 per night, while hotels can cost between $25 and $45. And if you're hungry, street food is cheap at $1 to $2, while a meal at a restaurant might be $4 to $12. But if you like to cook, you can get fresh food at the markets for less. The must-see spots in Bosnia include Sarajevo, Mostar, Kravis Falls, and Una National Park. Sarajevo, the capital, is a busy city with lots to see, like Baskarsia, the Museum of Genocide, and the Sarajevo War Tunnel. Mostar is another city worth visiting. You can travel between Sarajevo and Mostar by train, which is famous for its stunning views. Tickets start at $6. We didn't get a chance to try it ourselves, but we've heard it's amazing. Number 6. Lithuania. Lithuania might not be the first place you think of when planning a trip to Europe, but it's actually quite comfortable to visit. Despite its low cost, Lithuania offers stunning scenery and a rich history that spans hundreds of years, complete with tales of wars, castles, and ancient legends that are typical of European nations. What's great about Lithuania is that it has something for everyone. Whether you're into relaxing or pristine beaches or exploring vibrant cities, you'll find it here. Plus, it's budget-friendly with daily expenses averaging between $43 to $60. Accommodation costs are reasonable with hostels ranging from $15 to $25 per night and hotels from $28 to $45 per night. Food is also affordable with street food options as low as $1 to $2, fast food around $5.50 to $7.50, and restaurant meals costing between $8 to $24. An insider tip, you can legally camp in the wild in Lithuania, which can save you a lot of money on accommodation. Vilnius, the capital, is a must-visit destination with its old castles, museums, and delicious cuisine. But don't overlook other cities like Kaunas, Klaipėda, and Šiauliai, each offering its own unique charm. And if you're a beach lover, you don't want to miss Nida and Palanga along the beautiful coastline. Nature lovers will be in all of Lithuania's stunning parks, including Aukštaičiai, Dzūkija, and Karonian Spit, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Despite being underrated, Lithuania is full of fantastic places to explore, making it a hidden gem in Europe worth discovering. Number 5. Serbia. Serbia might not be the first place you think of for a vacation, but trust me, it's worth it. It's not only cheap to travel here, but it's also not crowded like some other European countries. The history of Serbia is really interesting, and the food is delicious, with influences from places like the Mediterranean. The landscape is pretty amazing too. You'll see old cities with big mountains in the background, but it's not all good news. There are a lot of stray dogs around, which can be a bit scary. If you're planning your budget, you can expect to spend between $40 to $60 a day. Accommodations can range from $15 to $45 per night, depending on where you stay. And food is quite cheap too, with street food costing around $1 to $2 and restaurant meals ranging from $6 to $18. If you need data on your phone, Serbian SIM cards are cheap and have good deals. Belgrade is a great place to start your trip. You can explore the city, try local food, and even take a guided tour. From there, you can rent a car and visit other cities like Nis, Novi Sad, and Soka Banja. Each place has its own charm, so you don't need much time to see the highlights. And don't forget about the national parks. Fruška Gora and Tora are the most popular ones, and they're definitely worth a visit. Serbia may not be on everyone's radar, but it's definitely worth exploring. Number 4. Montenegro. Montenegro is a popular country in the Balkans because it's next to Croatia, a place many tourists love. Some people only come for a day from nearby countries, but I suggest staying longer like we did. Montenegro has a stunning coast along the Adriatic Sea, beautiful parks, and old cities. There's a lot to do here, not just in Kotor, which is the most famous place. You can enter Montenegro from Bosnia near Tara Canyon. It's a strange and faraway crossing with an old bridge, but you see lots of pretty countryside on the way to the coast. If you're on a budget, you can spend $40 to $60 a day. Hostels cost $10 to $20 a night, while hotels cost $20 to $40. Food prices range from $1 to $18 depending on where you eat. And if you go in May or September, accommodation is cheaper. The top places to visit are Kotor, Budvar, Lovćen National Park, and Zavitaj Stefan. Kotor is a special town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that's been around for over 2,000 years. After Kotor, you can visit other towns like Budvar, Perast, and Olšinj. But the best part of Montenegro is its national parks. Dumator, Lovćen, and Lake Skadar are amazing with beautiful views, lots of animals, and great hiking trails. Montenegro also has unique places like the Blue Grotto, Tara Canyon, and Sveti Stefan Island. Number 3. Poland. Poland is a great choice if you're looking for an affordable European getaway. Despite its tough history during World War II and afterward, Poland is now becoming a popular spot for tourists in Eastern Europe. It's easy on the wallet, and you can visit any time of the year, especially during Christmas when the markets are fantastic. If you're on a tight budget, Poland won't break the bank. You can get by on $35 to $55 per day. Accommodation won't cost you much either, with hostels ranging from $15 to $25 per night and hotels from $25 to $45. Food is also affordable, whether you're grabbing street food for $1 to $3, fast food for $5 to $7, or enjoying a restaurant meal for $6 to $18. Plus, take advantage of free walking tours and museum entry into many Polish cities. When it comes to places to visit, make sure you hit up Krakow, Warsaw, Auschwitz, and Tatra National Park. Warsaw is a must-see, followed by Krakow, Gdańsk, and Wrocław. Each city has its own charm and plenty to explore, often with tourist passes available. But don't just stick to the cities. Poland's landscapes are stunning too, especially in Tatra National Park. Make time for Białowieża Forest Reserve, the Bieszczady Mountains, and Ojkowski National Park. While it may not be the happiest excursion, a visit to Auschwitz is essential. It's a somber reminder of the millions who lost their lives during the Holocaust and an opportunity to pay respects. So whether you're exploring cities or nature, Poland has something for everyone at a price that won't break your budget. Number 2. North Macedonia. North Macedonia is a great country to visit if you want to explore without going to the beach. It's surrounded by 5 other countries, and it's still not very crowded with tourists, so it's a good place to go if you like to discover hidden gems. The country has beautiful villages, big mountains, and lovely lakes, which make it a really pretty place to see. Even the main city, Skopje, is nice and has lots of history to learn about. It's also good for travelers on a budget because it's one of the cheapest countries in Europe. You can get by with $30 to $50 a day, and accommodation costs are low too. You can stay in a hostel for $15 to $25 a night or a hotel for $25 to $45 a night. Food is cheap as well, with street food costing $1 to $2 and meals at restaurants ranging from $4 to $12. Skopje is often the first stop for visitors with its old town, nightlife, and culture. There are interesting walking tours where you can learn about the country's history, including its recent independence, its connections with Greece, and its famous figures like Mother Teresa and Alexander the Great. But North Macedonia has more to offer than just Skopje. There are other cool places like Bitola, Gevgelija, Stobi, and Struga. Nature lovers will enjoy Pelister National Park, and there are activities like hiking, kayaking, and sightseeing tours to enjoy. Plus, don't miss Lake Ohrid, a stunning UNESCO World Heritage Site surrounded by ancient history. Number 1. Albania. Albania is becoming a popular place to visit in the Balkans, and it's about time. It has beautiful beaches, tall mountains, and tasty food. Albania isn't expensive like other European countries, and it's really pretty too. It's next to Greece, Kosovo, Montenegro, and North Macedonia, so it's easy to get to. Now, the roads in Albania aren't always great, and the drivers can be a bit crazy sometimes. But don't let that stop you from going. Albania gets a lot of sunshine, so it's perfect for a summer vacation, especially if you don't want to spend too much money. You can get by on $30 to $50 a day, hostels cost $10 to $20 a night, and hotels are around $20 to $40. You can find street food for $1 to $2, fast food for $4 to $6, and meals in restaurants for $5 to $15. Here's a tip: you can camp anywhere in Albania legally, so if you have a camper van or a tent, you can save a lot of money on places to stay. Some of the best things to do in Albania are the Albanian Riviera, the Albanian Alps, Durrës, and Tirana. Even though Albania isn't super popular with tourists yet, there are still loads of fun things to do there. Tirana, the capital city, is a great place to start your trip. There are lots of cool things to see there, like the National History Museum and Skanderbeg Square. You can also take a walking tour of Tirana to see even more. After that, you can go to the Albanian Riviera, which has some of the best beaches in the country. Other popular places to visit along the coast are Saranda, Vlorë, and the Kcamo Islands. If you'd rather see the inland parts of Albania, then you can go to the Albanian Alps or Lake Ohrid. So, exploring these places in Europe doesn't have to break the bank. From vibrant cities to breathtaking natural landscapes, these 10 budget-friendly destinations offer unforgettable experiences. What's your favorite spot on our list? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more travel tips.